Okay, so we are on a day 19 of dialogues, and this is the way of Mary. How's everyone feeling this morning, this afternoon?
Hmm.
Like that, Kim. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Good. Hmm. All right.
Hmm.
Kevin, who do you have first there?
I've got Jane first, and Jane, if you just want to read slowly and just do a couple of paragraphs or two or
Okay.
three, depending how long they are.
Okay. Okay. I'll pause. The Way of Mary. Those of you who are the forerunners of the Way of Mary may have felt confusion over your sense of calling.
Jane,
You,
Jane, could you
yeah?
would you be so kind just to slow down a tiny little bit?
Okay. Thank
Slow
you.
down so we can let it sink in a little bit better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Those of you who are forerunners of the Way of Mary may have felt confusion over your sense of calling. You know you are called to something and something important, but it does not have a form within your mind. And so you see not how it can become manifest in the world. In other words, you know not what to do. You perhaps see no specific accomplishment in your future, but see instead a way of living as the ultimate accomplishment. You see living as who you are in the world, as the accomplishment that is needed from you. And yet, at times, you compare yourselves to those who are able to live as who they are in the world and accomplish certain functions within the world. You perhaps feel functionless and purposeless at times, while at other times you feel as if you are being exactly as you are meant to be.
Thanks, Jane.
Okay. The key here is discernment between true contentment and denial. Although this is oversimplified, you might think of this as the artist being content in creating art, the musician in creating music, the healer in creating health. Those of the Way of Mary are content with a way of living. Yet everyone has a function to fulfill in creation of the new world. Only those who express themselves are truly content.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
wow. Only those who express themselves are truly content. Beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't it?
Mm.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Who's next?
Chantel, the next.
You can see right away, however, that if the artist, musician, or healer were content only in their expression, their specific gifts, their contentment would not be complete. Neither would it be complete without that expression. Being content is being fulfilled by the way in which you express who you are, by the way you express your content, your wholeness. Those who use their gifts to create the truth they see are those who, in doing, find their way to true contentment and true creation. They become who they are to be through their acts of creation. Those called to the way of Mary are called to be what they want to see reflected in the world, and to the realization that this reflection is the new way of creation. In their being, they become what they want to create.
Wow, this is it, isn't it?
The ultimate accomplishment is living as who you are within the world. But in what kind of world? This is the catch that causes feelings of purposelessness in those who are content to live as who they are within the world, until they realize the power of reflection. They wonder why they, unlike their brothers and sisters called to do not have a specific part to play in establishing the world in which all are able to be content with who they are.
Thanks, Helen. Sharon, if you're reading today, you're next. You're on mute. Yep.
Okay. The answer lies in the simple statement of as within, so without. By living as who you are in the world, you create change in the world. You create change in the world through relationship. All live and create in relationship. Those called to the way of Mary, however, are called to the creation and anchoring of the new relationship in the new world. Their relationship of union, upon which their contentment is based, is the birthplace, the womb of the new. Their expression is expression of this union. To be called to a specific function that creates change is really to be called to a function of preparing one or many for the change that must occur within. The function of those called to the way of Jesus is to call others to the new through means so widespread, varied, and remarkable that they cannot be ignored.
Sharon. Cole, you're next.
Just as Jesus would not be literally birthed without Mary, the way of Mary cannot be born without the way of Jesus. Both ways arose from Christ consciousness as demonstration of ways. those who have been taught of Mary as an intermediary are as inaccurate in this belief as those who thought of Jesus in such a way. Neither demonstrated intermediary functions, but demonstrated direct union with God. Each demonstrated the creative aspects of that function in different ways. But the function reminded one of direct union with God. But the function remained one of direct union with God. This is quite literally the function of all in this new time. When we speak of functions unique to each, we speak of expressions of this one ultimate function. Together, the way of Mary and the way of Jesus demonstrate the truth of as within, so without, and the relationship between the inner and outer world. The way of Mary is not a place or a state of non-interaction, however. This is not the state or place of the monks, nuns, and completities of old. It is not solitary, not isolated, nor confined to a specific community. It is a way of existence in which such a relationship is paramount. This is not listening to a calling to do, but a calling to become. That's creamy, oh my God. Oh.
Kim, you're next.
All are called to become, but some must do in order to become. Those called to the way of Mary are not required to do in the sense of fulfilling a specific function that will become manifest in the world, but are required to do in the sense of receiving, sharing, and being what they are asked to become. This is an act of incarnation and is a new pattern, a pattern of what can be imagined, being made real, not through doing, but through the creative act of incarnating in union with Spirit. It corresponds with the end of the way of Jesus, in that the way of incarnation is the way of miracles. It corresponds with the end of the way of Jesus, in that an example is provided. It differs only in that the example is not an example of an individuated life, but an example of the union and relationship that is all life. This is not to say that those called to the way of Jesus will find a claim and those called to the way of Mary will find obscurity. Many called to the way of Mary will do much that is greatly desired in them, but what they do will be a byproduct of their way of being, rather than a means of facilitating that way of being.
Mm.
Many of the way of Mary will find acclaim, yet neither acclaim nor obscurity will matter to those following these ways. Being true to the self and the calling of the one self is all that matters. Eventually, all will follow the way of Mary, and such ideas as acclaim and obscurity will be no more. But at this time of transition, both ways are needed to demonstrate the means of coming to know, which are what all true expression is about.
Mm. It's an amazing sentence there. Eventually, all will follow the way of
Mm.
Mary. Yeah. Beautiful.
Sam, you're next.
The fear of losing the self is still the primary fear, even among those who have never found the self. They fear losing the known to the unknown. The two ways of demonstration make the unknown known. One makes the unknown known through individuated example lives. One makes the unknown known through creation of the new, so that the unknown is no longer unknown, but made available to be experienced. This availability is what is meant by the echoing of the new. Those who, in a relationship with the unknown, through unity and imagination, create the new by means other than doing, open a way previously unknown, and as all forerunners do, anchor what that way within consciousness by holding open this door to creation. They, in turn, create a new pattern and begin to weave it into the web of reality, anchoring it for discovery by their brothers and sisters. The truth of this way is not discovered through the passing on of knowledge and form, but through relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Those following the way of Mary become mirrors of the truth they discover, reflecting the way to their brothers and sisters. This is why this is not a place or state of non-interaction, but of great interaction. It is a state that facilitates knowing through relationship.
Mm-hmm.
This occurs through the one self or form.
Mm. In other words, sitting in a cave is not the way of Mary. Mm.
This is the first time I have read through this and all of a sudden noticing the words about the new, creating the new in relationships. It's like we've been trying to do the new, but with the old system.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a new system. This is a new, a new way of being. Right.
Yeah, and it's discovered through openness and sharing what's really happening. You know, like we ask, how is it? Like, okay, well, is it really? You know, that realness, that absolute authenticity of like, how is it really? Not how we should spiritually answer, so it sounds very holy or something. No, how is it really? How is the transparency? And being able to feel it and open it and share the feeling of it. Share how. Imagine you had no mouth. How would you say it? How would you express it? Oh, what are you left with? But what would be the new way?
Well, we
What's
don't know
occurring,
yet.
what's occurring to me is speaking from the heart, or coming from that place.
Mm-hmm.
Expressing how we really feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Even just
from the heart,
leaving
not
the
the
head.
mind.
Yeah. Even just leaving the head behind and really dropping in. That's immediately different way of looking at everything, isn't it? With the eyes of the heart. Looking with the eyes of the heart.
This past week, I've been aware of. I've had this concept of unity, and it's like, oh yeah, we're all one, and yeah, it's more than that. It's. Am I really relating to somebody like what's happening to me is happening to them? What's in that kind of connection?
Beautiful.
Which is, it's kind of a new way of looking at it. This whole chapter is all about the new way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like we had to go into this individuation, but now we need to go beyond that. It's almost like including our individuation, but as one with everyone. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's like when we go out of the mind, out of the head, the area, we go to the heart. There is it's a completely different way of sharing. Because when we're out of the head, the feeling become different. Feelings become more expansive because it's no longer controlled by thoughts. So it begins to ooze, begins to share in a way that it's not seen with these eyes, but it's definitely felt when it happens. It's like you must have experienced that when someone shared their true feelings, it was like a whole room changed. Yeah, I'm sure you had one of those somewhere in your life. And imagine being that way all the time. Because really, the more we connect to ourselves, our wholeness, the more we then see the world that way. If I'm separate and I sit in my head and I think all day, I'm definitely experiencing separation. I mean,
And you're going to go down.
yeah, yeah,
It'll be depressing.
that's it. He goes so down, it
Oh,
begins to smile you, it brings this little bubbly joy that doesn't need to even prove itself. It just is there. And it reverberates. And from there, everything is seen differently. I think that for me, that's the way of the new. But it's also always new.
mm. It has to be new because up until, well, I don't even know if I'll be able to do it. I've always just been looking from the thoughts, the head. I don't
Exactly.
even know what it's really like to look from the heart. Like it is new, so new,
Yeah.
or will be new.
So pick a
Like
person. Pick a
pick
person.
a person.
Yeah. It's the best to
Oh,
do it. Like, we can talk about it until cows come home. But pick a person
yes, yeah.
and say, hey,
I'll pick Sharon.
yeah, Sharon.
I'll pick
And
someone I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, Sharon.
And then see if we can see her heart.
See her heart.
Yeah.
I'll have to close my eyes.
Exactly. Now we are beginning
Yeah.
to
Because it's too distracting. Like the world's too distracting what you see, isn't it?
exactly. Because it's all
Yeah.
perception, and perception is not an attribute of God, right?
Yeah.
So you
So
close your eyes and you begin to see, right? You see it. And even
mm,
Sharon might have an experience where she goes like, oh my God, she is connecting to me. Yeah. Like, and God help me now. Like, show me this new way. That's the prayer.
mm,
Yeah. How do I see Sharon as God created her, as the pure being she is?
mm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And you know what?
It's like just like this one.
No effort is
Yeah.
required. That's the one most important thing, that you don't try hard. Like, okay, I'm gonna try not to see her as God created her. No, just step back. Exactly. Just step
Like
back.
just like there's one mind, there's one heart. Like we all have the one heart. That's what I
Yeah.
suddenly
Hmm.
thought. The thought from the heart said that. Like
Yes.
not from here.
Yes. I see
You
that
know?
immediately
Yeah.
smiles you. That immediately smiles you.
Yeah.
It brings joy. Not only to you, it brings joy to those that are, observing you. And hopefully reminds the others as well of that sameness, that everyone's capable of this if they so desire. It's like the whole Course in Miracles, to just like see your brother differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you would have to see it like this. You look at Sharon and say, the beauty I see in you is.
The beauty I see in you is
What is that?
you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings tears to my eyes of being
Yes.
seen and
Yeah.
known. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It can only,
Wow.
Exactly.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
it can only happen through the heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no other way. And that is the way,
Mhm.
the true way. Oh,
And you know what's
yeah, I've
beautiful?
got shivers.
Beautiful what you said, Sharon. You said, I'm surprised. Yeah. So what is that?
Mhm.
That's the new.
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then you can
And it
reverse.
takes a bit of time.
Yes,
It takes a bit of time, doesn't it? Like,
it does. But
oh,
especially the effortlessness. Like you suddenly said, oh, you know what actually came? You didn't dig it out. You stepped back and
no.
immediately had an answer. Yeah. That answer
Yes.
immediately made Sharon feel you and experience that, you see? But then
Yeah.
you took it even further by saying, hey, and this is more specifically what I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharon, you could do the same thing. You could get the beauty I see in you, Kim. You have to go somewhere in your inner beauty. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get it from yourself, don't you? Yeah. Or from God, whatever. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's that mirroring of there's
Yeah.
not a separation. And the beauty that you're doing this day again is that I missed last week, and I listened to the recording, and how beautiful that I'm getting to read it again, and yeah, to see it
Yeah.
anew.
Beautiful. Yeah, we had to edit it
And
again.
what's beautiful and what's beautiful is there's a relationship now, because I didn't really, you're fairly new to the group and I didn't know you. And all of a sudden now I feel I do, just from this simple thing.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy. It's sort of like crazy almost, like very
Yes.
simple.
Get to know each other. See how, and it was quantum. It wasn't just like you suddenly see her for who she truly is, because your intent is
Yeah.
different. Yeah, your intent can you
And
can
who she really is simply that one heart. Like,
beautiful.
oh, yeah.
How does that
As
make
is
sense?
everyone.
The extension that I feel is that I know Jane from Canada, and I feel a different vibration with everyone in the group right now.
Oh,
So it does extend. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Yes, and thanks for
Yeah.
trying, guys, because yeah, these are the little games we could play that actually brings all this into actual being, into manifestation, rather than just reading the data. Like we got to drop in
Yeah,
and begin to
we
unite.
need to do the exercises, to practice how to actually do it. Like,
Yeah.
do it. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah. Hmm.
and normally I would go into this place, oh my God, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to muck it up, like, but there's no such thing. From that place, there's no, you can't muck it up because
Yes,
it's the
it's
truth,
effortless. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it really,
Oh,
comes back to the I need do nothing.
mm.
That's the hardest thing to do because you're still trying to do nothing. But however, if that grace touches us, that moment when you
Yeah,
connected, right? Like you connected, that's it. You
yeah.
connected. Grace.
It's almost, yes, it's almost like to give yourself a little bit of a mini open heart surgery there,
Yes.
to,
Yeah. And
because
this is still just the way of the heart, but the way of Mary goes even deeper.
Mm.
So, that feeling you feel, can you step back and just let that feeling lead the way? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like you open more space than you ever allow yourself to open for this, to be present, to be given. Because if you don't give it, you choke on it. It's too much. It has to be given. And it comes to this real art of getting out of the way, truly, and then seeing
And
that
I
it's
think,
all already happening,
and my mind somehow convinced me that I didn't have anything to give, like
Yeah.
I'm just nothing. It's
Yes.
outrageous, an outrageous sort of lie, I believe. If I have a heart, then I can give, that's the mechanism, isn't it? And if I didn't have a heart, I'd be dead. So, like we have everything we need.
You've got to be careful.
Alive.
You just be careful the mind doesn't steal the heart again,
Oh, yeah. But in the end, it's like a true working together, isn't it? Like not one sort of trying to beat the other. Yeah. Crazy.
All right, Kevin, who's next?
Kevin, you're next.
Mm-hmm. Kevin from heaven.
In this action of joining in union and relationship is contained the key to creation of the new. It was spoken of earlier as the act of informing and being informed, as the step beyond that of observing and being observed. It is where creation of the new can begin, because it is the intent of creation rather than the intent of the observer. That is the creative force, the animator and informer. Being joined in union and relationship allows for the channeling of creation through the one self, because the one self is joined in union and relationship.
Mm.
This is very tricky for those who reach highly individuated states, and it is necessary for those of the Way of Mary to support, encourage, and reflect the new to those being examples of the way of Jesus. This too, Kim, say something? This too is tricky, for it can lead to judgment. When there is more than one way, there is always room for comparison and judgment. Thus, it is realistic to see the two ways as intertwined circles, existing in support and harmony with one another. As those given specific functions fulfill those functions, they move naturally to the way of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Without those pursuing the way of Jesus, those pursuing the way of Mary would have a much more difficult task. There would be little space in which to anchor the new. The following the way of Jesus create the openness of the spacious selves who allow for the anchors of the new to be cast and thus to ride out the many storms of this time of transition.
Wow. Mm.
I noticed that it says like the one self and the spacious self. It's kind of like there aren't words to describe. It's just you see one, or you just see yourself, or you see yourself in the other. Is that
Mm-hmm.
there are no words.
There are no words.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like that Tao that can be told is not an eternal Tao. Yeah? The first verse of Tao Te Ching, the Chinese kind of Bible, yeah? If you can name it, it's not it, because it cannot be named. Because perception doesn't go that far.
In a book I'm reading at the moment, they never refer to God as God. They call him the nameless one.
Nameless one, yes.
Yeah.
It's the kind of Taoist way a bit.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you can't name it. The minute you do, you have an image, and now it's something solid. It's no longer new, referring to something old, like God. So by releasing every idea of what God is will bring you to God. When the cup is empty. Alex, would you like to feel this next one is very short? Shall we sneak that one in as well? You'd be happy to.
Yep.
Okay.
We're back to Jane.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yep.
Are we on day 20 then?
Day 20, the first transition.
Thank you. Now we begin preparation for your transition to level ground.
Mm.
We depart even farther here from the guidance you have relied upon, so that you begin to rely more and more fully on the truth of this dialogue. You have realized now your relationship with the unknown and cease to fear it.
Mm.
You are perhaps even eager now to move beyond the known to the unknown. You are perhaps eager without fully realizing that this eagerness symbolizes a true ending, an ending within you and within your reality, an ending within your conscious awareness, a true end of learning.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
This is the first transition, the transition in which you really get it, that the unknown cannot be taught, laid out on a map, or shown to you by another.
Wow.
Chantal, you reading?
When you read what has been written here, you perhaps think this is a contradiction, for surely you have been told much here that you did not previously know. This isn't quite accurate, however. What has happened here is that words have been put on the feelings and remembrances that you have within your minds and hearts and have been sharing in this dialogue. The way of saying this perhaps is new, but the way of saying this is the expression of the human being receiving it.
Oh,
The way in which you are hearing and responding to these truths is perhaps new, but that way too is of the human being receiving it. In this case, you. The truth is the truth. It doesn't change. It is the same for everyone. What then is the unknown? The reception and expression of truth.
Mm.
And so, Sharon?
This is why you can know while always coming to know. Why you can know yourself and constantly be coming to know. The only thing there is to know is the one self in its many expressions. You are the known and the unknown. Everything is both the known and the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You are the expression of the unknown and the only means of the unknown becoming known. In other words, all the truth and all the wisdom that is available but unknown to you takes you to make it known. And if this is the only way that the beauty, truth, and wisdom of the one self can be made known, then you are the source and the power coming to know and making known. Apply the art of thought to this idea, and you will complete the first transition.
Wow, beautiful. Anything here you guys like to elaborate on or express about? Like that line where he says, you have realized now your relationship with the unknown and ceased to fear it. 20.2.
Yes, it
Stop.
ceased to fear it.
Yes,
Right.
stop being afraid of the experience. Mm.
You
What
are
is it
perhaps
made
even
by?
eager now. Oh, sorry.
What were you saying?
You are, you are perhaps even eager now, yeah, to move beyond the known to the unknown.
Mm.
So what does it mean by applying the art of thought?
The art of
Yeah, I
thought,
was thinking that.
art of
Need to
thought,
go back to that.
I think it's a second chapter in the first treatise or second treatise. It's about,
Yeah.
I think it's that whole transition of like allowing the exchanging every thought for union. Like we have this small way of thinking, and then there are great thoughts we have, but we're so busy thinking the little ones.
Yeah.
The greatness of thinking has not dawned on us. The true thinking when thought and a feeling are in union, you will think
It's
differently.
okay.
It was almost like when we were watching Kim, just deciding to see Sharon differently, right? Right there. It was a shift. Yeah. It was a different thought, wasn't it? That's the art of thought. When you, without effort, without anything, it's already in you. You are the accomplished. It just hasn't been expressed yet. So when you manage to look through the eyes of the heart and not effort in there, it happens. That is the art of
Yeah, it
thought.
was almost.
Yes.
Yeah, it was almost like the art of thought is
Yeah.
no thought or something.
Yeah. Art of the
Oh,
heart.
yeah, the art of thought is on page 203 in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll reread that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
If anyone else has a other takeaway out of
What's just occurring to me now is my misuse of thought,
Mhm.
and how it's not serving me.
Mhm. At times, and then it does at other times, because sometimes you
Yeah.
do think right-mindedly, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure. There's an imbalance.
Yes. Well, I think, yeah, but it begins to happen more and more, where you in your real thinking, as opposed to just having a mind rambling. See, mind rambles because it's disconnected from feeling. The whole at one is nothing but connecting to the whole self, which is the feeling self, which in this world is not really well evolved, because everything is run by the mind, pretty much. So
Yeah, I
we
was thinking, I
don't,
imagine seeing from the heart, but
yeah,
then why not think from the heart
yes.
instead of, you know,
Well, being in the heart inspires different way of thinking. So that would be also the art of thought. You're inspired to speak differently. Your intent is new. Your intent is for oneness. The intent is the key. Like intent to love will bring love. Intent to do anything else will bring everything else. So just for a second, allow yourself to feel like no matter what, I have an intent to love. And it's that intent that draws the love in. That little willingness to be more than just the thinking mind on its own, in its separate little little babble that it often is, isn't it? Oh my God.
I feel like this little demonstration today um, is really profound, because I feel like I'm connected to Kim, and all the usual ways where we would get to know each other. Oh, where are you from? And
Right.
all those questions, all those external things don't matter. It just feels like I don't need to know
Beautiful.
anything else, the external.
That was the
This
holy
is,
instant, you see? That's the holy
yes,
instant. That's
yeah.
exactly.
yeah, because it was instantaneous, wasn't it? It was in that instant. It happened. Yeah,
You simply,
yeah.
with that intent to see through the heart, the joining occurred.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
try to describe it, and it's so difficult. How would you describe it even, except just by saying like, wow, that really was a highlight. I can't even, you can't explain it, can you? Beautiful. And how simple, what did we do? We just said, hey, we decided to see a brother or a sister differently, but actually do it, not just going like, not just saying it. Action. Action is the way of Jesus, right? Well, brings us straight into the way of Mary. It's bound, and a way of Mary. I know it's all sort of seemingly unclear, but the way of Mary is the way of feeling. There is no way around it. So, yeah, lovely. Mhm. Mhm. For me was the eventually all will follow the way of Mary.
Mm.
As one thing that shows up as first when the way of Mary is being incarnated is that it just begins to feel so good for no good reason. You just feel happy. You just feel just so good for no good reason. It's not because you got something, but because of who you are, you know? Because truly, like it says, without Mary, there is no Jesus. I love
Hail Mary.
that. I love that. Yeah.
The last time we went through this book, it's so different this time. Oh, I really didn't get the Mary thing at all. Like, I'm only just starting to realize what it could be, but yeah, it was just so absent, you know.
Yes. And also imagine
The
that that's
focus
just the
is
beginning.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, like you get in touch with it and then it begins to unfold. It begins to unfold. Like you go, so
Yeah.
I've got to be in my heart. The more you're in your heart, the more your feeling comes in. More your feeling comes in, the less you think the insane thoughts. Less you think insane thought, the more feeling comes in. Eventually, the will is all there is. Like eventually, all will follow the ways of Mary. We got to be feeling all the way down to our feet and below. Otherwise, up and out, that's an old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Course in Miracles says it differently. Says it beautifully. He says it in a way of a Holy Spirit. If you how's it? To recognize the Holy Spirit, you got to see it in your brother. So this is the same as seeing the heart.
Mm.
Like for me, that first chapter where it says every living being has a heart, that was a game changer. Because next minute I went like, okay, let me see this in everyone. I would go to a supermarket and I would just see this heart everywhere. Whoever I looked to, even little kid, it's like, where is God? Show me the heart. Boom, there it was. Show me the heart. Boom, there it was. So having these instances, like a constant way of being, because that's your intent, is to see the heart in everything. Yeah.
Do you have to see it in yourself before you can see in others?
Actually, the seeing in the others will make you see it in yourself. Yeah.
It's relationship.
That is the relationship.
Yes.
That's the holy relationship, because you see the wholeness of the person rather than the grievance. It's very simple. Like I say, you either see me as whole or an asshole. There is no in between. There's no in between. And when you see me as whole, you have an experience of wholeness. And when you see me as an asshole, you're probably having a bad day.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
interesting because something's definitely happened to me because I live, I'm sandwiched between an upper apartment and a lower one. But the upper one, the noise comes down, for a long time I had to battle with this urge that I want to kill that guy, because he's so noisy and, it's unbelievable. But anyway, recently it's like I hear the noise and I'm trying to feel annoyed almost, but it's not there. It's like,
nice.
Oh my God, I'm supposed to be annoyed about this. What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, it's gone. Like,
mm-hmm.
It is really miraculous. Like, I can't, I'm actually trying to feel annoyed because that's what I should be feeling. My mind's telling me. is crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, you're the meat in the sandwich.
I am. I'd rather, I suppose I am. But it's a good thing. It's actually a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the upstairs is the way of Jesus, the downstairs is the way of Mary, and you're in between. You're the love of it all. See, you're seeing things differently, isn't it? There's all this reframing, like,
Yeah.
when we judge, we
Yeah.
create a world in which we then live and think it's real.
Yeah, because like I made a horrendous racket a few weeks ago, and the guy downstairs actually came. I was on the balcony, and he came out into the courtyard and saying, "What the hell's going on?" Because you know the noise travels down, right? And but I didn't get upset. Like it was okay that he, you know. I said, "Oh, sorry, okay." And now I know I have to because I was kicking my punching bag, kicking my bag, and it thumps, and because it's like a freestanding thing. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I have to do it when he's not home. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So
Beautiful.
but I noticed I didn't get all, you know, upset about it. It's okay. Yes, this reaction thing has changed. Ah, it's so much better than before. The way before, this new way is good. Oh,
Guys. So shall we leave it at that? I don't think it's a worthwhile going into the next one. It will probably be overcooked.
Yeah.
That was
Mhm.
pretty big.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
let's pray this week that more of the way of Mary is being introduced to us through union. You know, God, show me. You know, love, manifest this for me, like, so I know Mary thoroughly and profoundly. I reckon that would be a good prayer.
Yes.
Very good. Anything else before we say goodbye? Okay.
I was just going to say, it's Annie here.
Hey, Annie.
That Kim, I just want to tell you that I've noticed the difference in you, and it doesn't mean it's not because I can see you and you can't see me. I feel like you are no longer striving to learn how it works. You are becoming it, and that is so beautiful. Like, I just want to say that because I see a lot of difference in you, and I've only known you for like a year or so, and it's really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do feel like there's definitely something's changing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
We are mirrors of each other, and I see that in you. So thank you.
Oh. And it's in you because you can see it. So yeah, it's great.
Bye, Shanti. All right, guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you all very soon.
Thank you.
All righty.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.